What's up, guys? I'm John. This is Sancho and Wilson. We are on the Good Vibe Tribe caravan headed to the Teton Gathering. Uh, I would like to take a little minute and give you guys a quick tour of my van Heavy. She is a 2018 Sprinter 4x4, and she's in graphite gray. She has a partial Zen Vans kit on the inside and a Master Overland power system. All right, let's check her out. All right, so here we are on the inside of Heavy. The Zen Vans kit is beautiful, in my opinion. I really like the lightweight and the lightweight aluminum and the plyboo. That Zen Vans aesthetic, I guess, is what I fell in love with and what I really wanted. So I jumped the chance to purchase this from them back in almost a year ago or 2 years ago now. So I flew up to Portland from San Diego and like big old check in my pocket. It was like so crazy nervous, like not knowing like what I was getting into, but I haven't regretted it. There's been moments of like, oh my god, what am I doing? Uh, Buying a giant van and like living in it. It's so weird. But there's a few moments when I parked it in front of my place in OB, and I'd come around the corner and see this monster like hanging out of my parking spot, and I started laughing to myself like, this is huge. Very happy with the look of the kit. Really want to thank the guys at Master Overland for helping me install it and getting me to this point, because there was about a year where I kind of like got stuck, where you get to a point of understanding how much you really do not know and how big of a project you've taken on, and you're like, before I got into it, I was thinking like, oh yeah, I can totally figure this on YouTube and blah blah blah, and then I'm sitting here with my little screwdriver and little screw gun and some duct tape, and I'm like, what's a rib nut? Oh yeah. So I'm very grateful to Josh for teaching me a lot of things along the way, and for putting the bomb-proof electrical system together. I'm probably going to go back to them after this road trip and have the galley installed. Probably something here or there. I don't know. I can't make up my mind. It's always so hard to give up space when you get used to it. See, the fridge is a Snowmaster, kind of a simple, cooler design. Works great. I pretty much keep it at 34, so my beers and wine, or my white wine, is always nice and chilly when I'm ready for it after a long day of driving. All right, so this first cabinet right here, this is basically my pantry. It's where I keep my dry foods and eggs and ketchup and a cup of noodles. All right, love those. Okay, next one over here is basically my pots and pans and Jameson. That's where that hangs out. I've got a CO2 tank for inflating tires and for general purpose blowing of things. I've got a road shower 4 up there that I pressurize with this, so I pretty much shower with soda water. I'm not sure if that's good for the tank or not, but I've got a Cali King in here basically. It's very comfortable and more than enough storage space. I've got a Instapot, which has become one of my favorite things to cook in. Other people in van life use it a lot, so I figured I'd try it, and I have not been disappointed. I want to definitely get a little more in depth and get some recipes and learn to use it a little more, but I'm still kind of a very Babylonian in that way, where I don't like to cook myself, and I would totally stop at every burger spot on the way if Matt didn't judge me the whole way, because I miss McDonald's French fries all the time. The trip to Overland Expo was kind of the first trip I did on my own, which was longer than a couple days just out in the desert near San Diego. And I've fallen in love with it. I can see myself definitely doing this full time, and it's taught me more reliance on myself and just kind of like more trust in myself, and that I'm resourceful and I can handle this on my own. So I feel like I wasted a little bit too much time just kind of like being scared of hitting the road, just because of the comforts of a nice big porcelain toilet that flushes, and hot instant water and good Wi-Fi. Yeah. So, but I don't regret this at all, and I can't wait to continue. I really want to do a big road trip north this summer, maybe hit Canada, and see the top of the United States. I've got some buddies like South Dakota up there that I've got to go visit. And this, by the sea, we forget to count the days. It was my old roommates and one of my best homeboys, Grant, who moved to Maui. He left this for me, so I kind of brought it in. He left me actually a bunch of cool stuff like hammers and tools, so I've integrated a lot of that stuff into the van. But I don't know. I like the saying. I don't think about it too much, but I think that's kind of the point of living by the beach, not thinking things too deeply, just enjoying the journey today. I would recommend just going for it, whatever state your van is in. Like I held myself back from going on a lot of trips just because I didn't have electrical. These fans were installed like a year before I ever got power to them, so they just kind of like dangled there. And I did a few little camping trips with them, but I was like, oh, it's not as cool because nothing's done. But I now kind of regret that I should have just gone. What led me to van life? I think I was working in Afghanistan as a contractor, and I just got really interested in like 4x and like overlanding. I didn't even know what overlanding was, but I had full runners before, and I never really took them off trails or anything, or even used a 4x4 on them. Then I bought a rooftop tent and started going camping, and that kind of evolved into like, oh, this is kind of a pain in the butt because I have to like open up this rooftop tent, and like they're cool, but there was a lack of efficiency that I felt like there was a better way to do it. And then I fell in love with vans, and it's like, oh my god, this is the answer. It was a difficult choice to either go with like a used van, and like I looked all over the place for like used vans or new vans, and like kind of when Zen Vans put this thing on Instagram, it was like, okay, fuck it, this is the way I'm gonna go. And I wasn't happy at my job. I wasn't happy in life, and so it seemed like the ticket to freedom. Like I feel like everybody kind of a lot of people get into this lifestyle for that, so I'm no different. And I got into the project with the idea of like, oh, it's gonna be like my project, and I'm gonna do everything by hand. I'm not gonna do all DIY. And I got to the point where I was like, yeah, I don't have the skills, and it's not gonna be to the quality that I want if I try to do all DIY. So I bought the kit, and I worked in manufacturing, so there's a term called COTS, like commercial over the shelf stuff. So I like that idea of just like buying things that are available on the market that are made to fit properly, and then they look good. I know it's not an option for everybody, but I had the option, so that's the option I took. There's a lot more personalization that will be done eventually. I still got to get more patches from all the national parks, and of course more stickers to put on everywhere. But I kind of like the simplicity of it. I think it's kind of relaxing in here. I'm sure once somebody else moves in, there'll be a lot more stuff in here, and knickknacks and stuff hanging, and little pretty twinkle lights, and it'll be all girly, but it'll be a pleasant change. But I'm enjoying it the way it is now. It's kind of very manly and Spartan. All right, so this is the Red Bomber. She's stored inside heavy back there above the decked drawer systems. Coming very useful. I have a 100-watt solar panel I can deploy that plugs straight into the side of the van. An luminous roof rack, which is really nice. I really wanted a place I could perch and enjoy these magnificent views. I've got KO2s on her, Raptor lining on the side just to protect her a little bit, but as you can see, the pinstriping goes all the way up, so I'm sure I'm gonna have some fun scratches to deal with when I finally clean her up. Solar panel up top, 100 watts. So altogether I can pull in about 200 watts of solar and store it in my battery. Let's take a closer look at the power system. All right, and back here you can see, foremost, this is Wilson Flynn, Matt's dog. He's in charge of things. We just don't know it yet. So the power system is 0 volts, 300 amp hour lithium ion battery, which has Bluetooth, so I can monitor this bad boy from my phone on the road. I have inverter charging, so when I'm rolling down the road, cruising down this adventure with the Good Vibe Tribe on our caravan to the Tetons, I can charge my battery and be 100% charged when we get to camp. I've got Victron, everything. It's pretty much a marine grade build. Everything's done very professionally by Master Overland. I want to thank Josh and Dave and Mark at Master Overland for doing such a great job on this build. The deck system, when I saw these guys at the Overland Expo, they were like barely any sprinters have them. I'm like, that's crazy because they're so useful. Like, they pull out 6 feet, and you can put like 200 pounds in each one, and like a ton of storage, literally a ton of storage on top of it. I sprayed the whole inside with goose, or I mean lizard skin, before putting other insulation and stuff in. I didn't do a great job because I'm not a painter, and I got kind of excited and didn't tape things off properly, so I can see the effects of my kind of laziness all around it. The lizard skin has worked really well, keeping the rattles down and helping with a little bit of insulation. Above that I have denim insulation, and on the roof I have that foam board stuff. So I can keep it pretty cool in there with the 2 fans. And for heat, I have a Webasto diesel heater installed underneath the passenger side, which works well, especially out here in the desert where it drops down to like 30s at night. I just kick that bad boy on and stay nice and warm and toasty. I'm very overall pleased with the look of my build. I maybe could have, I feel like if I wasn't so eager to get into the van, like I feel like I get that almost FOMO and I really wanted to get everything now, so I probably spent a little more money than I should have, but I'm very happy with the result, and I'm looking forward to having a lot of adventures in this rig. But the system has worked really well. I've never had an issue yet of running out of power. I can pretty much run, I think I can even run like a hair dryer off this thing if I wanted to. I plugged in a heat gun in for a brief amount of time and it worked just fine, so I'm confident that I can run almost any household appliance off the thing. Maybe not a washer or dryer, but I can definitely run a hair dryer or something like that. I'm very, very proud and very confident that this power system will survive the roads and will keep me powered up whenever I need it. Want a buddy biscuit, buddy? Here you go. Good boy. All right, guys, this caravan has got to get on the road. I want to thank you for watching this video. If you want to follow our adventures, you can find Sancho Vincenzo on the gram at Sancho Vincenzo and me at Specialist Pesky. Thanks for watching.